Hello, people of YouTube. This is Farfix here, and today we are going to talk about my Dark Souls history. Well, not about like where you start and how it gives like some impact in your life. No, just a simple. First game that I played is not Demon Souls, not Dark Souls 1, but Dark Souls 2. I first found out about Dark Souls by watching PewDiePie's gameplay, which, to be honest, is kind of fun watching him actually getting rage. So I decided to buy it for myself, but I just can't find it. So one day I found somebody who actually sells it, and I buy it. When I first play the game, well, I couldn't pass level 1. I couldn't even pass the first level. I couldn't even pass the Dragon Rider. Until now, I actually buy Dark Souls 2 years ago, 2014. I think a year before I bought the Xbox 360. I started playing Dark Souls 2 again about 2015, and I learning, start watching people video how to kill this boss, how to do a boss. Now I think I'm stuck at, I forget the place. I think the Shady Forest. I think I'll check that one later. And to be honest, it's probably the most hardest game that I've ever played. Besides, besides Homefront, this is either the world's hardest game, but even though I have played more harder like Ghouls and Goblins in the NES. Yes, I played old school games. But yeah, it's still kind of challenging. But ranking from Dark Souls 2, I started hearing news about Bloodborne. I didn't play Dark Bloodborne at all, but I've heard that it's actually supposed to be a horror game, but I still think it's more of making people rage. I didn't play Bloodborne at all, but I played Dark Souls 3 when it came out. I quickly downloaded. After 2 days of downloading it, I finally get to play it. At first, it was actually kind of amazing, even though I got only 20 FPS at first. The well, how can I say? The game was perfect. The game was amazing. It's more of a challenge rather than Dark Souls 2, to be honest. I can describe or I can't compare which one is the hardest. I think Dark Souls 2 because I finished Dark Souls 3, but Dark Souls 3 was punishing as hell if not I beat it. Well, how can I say about it? It's pretty amazing first. Even on the lowest settings, the graphics are amazing. I really love Dark Souls design. Out of the lore, it's perfect. The like the lore of the Nameless Kings, which involves from the Dark Souls 1, actually from all of the stories of the Dark Souls series, and has a pretty simple ending, which is actually there is four ending. The simple ending, there have to be official ending, the and one more, I forgot the name, that involves everything getting dark. Then then the, what do you call her, she says that the tiny flames just came out of nowhere. I think it's more of a Dark Souls 3 review and my Dark Souls history, but I cannot describe any way other than that. Oh, I can't leave a review without the soundtrack. The soundtrack are literally amazing. I think still the second is the Elder Scrolls series. The Elder Scrolls series soundtrack is also amazing. But Dark Souls, I think it's either ranked up more than Skyrim or Oblivion or even Morrowind, or lower than there. I'll let you decide. Uh, I'm still thinking about playing Dark Souls 2 again or Dark Souls 3 again over again. Like speedrunning through Dark Souls 3. Well, Dark Souls 2 actually I completed about either 5 or 4 bosses in just 45 minutes, which is I think amazing, but I still haven't completed the game. For Dark Souls, I think I completed the game for about 6 hours. Maybe I'm trying to get a target for about 4.5 hours, which is I think impossible. But let me just try. I've been playing this game for 3 months or more. Well, I think that's it. Well, if I can say, Dark Souls is actually one of the world's hardest game, or maybe still not, because Ghouls and Goblins is still the hardest as far as I can concern on the NES until now. But I thank you guys for watching or hearing. I just moved from the living room to my room. Just because loud noise in front. Anyway, thank you guys. Hope you subscribe. You don't need to share the like button. You don't actually need to like or dislike song, as you just hear this. Thank you.